Hello folks, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we will be discussing a current affair topic presented to you by faculty Sushma KP. So what is the topic that we will be discussing today? Operation Sindhu's 300-kilometer kill. Now in this we will be discussing the topics of as to what was the operational details of Operation Sindoor, what are the technical significance, the global comparisons, especially seeing from your Russia and Ukraine, and also we will be seeing your S400 capabilities, strategic significance, and we will also see about your CATSA implications, and we will also be looking into legal and ethical dimensions, current challenges that we face, and what is the way forward and a possible UPSC mains question from this topic. Alright, now let's get the video started. I told you what is the issue we will be discussing, what are the topics under that, how is it relevant to your UPSC. First and foremost, from a GS paper 3 perspective in defense and security linkages, where we will be seeing how important it is about advanced technology in warfare and the most important need for indigenization in respect to defense, and how defense preparedness is important, especially in your current geopolitical climate. All right. Now, coming back to the topic in hand, Operation Sindoor was India's befitting response and reply to your Pahalgam terror attack, which was carried out by the resistance front, which was allied or which is somewhere considered as a faction of your Lashkar-e-Toiba. Now, when India carried out Operation Sindoor, the date it struck was on May 7th, 2025. In this, what we will be seeing is the way India carried out or gave a response to your Pahalgam terror attack was counter terrorism. Now, when we try to do this counter terrorism, we have also been very vocal in trying to showcase how Pakistan has not been doing enough in order to end counter terrorism, but rather it's promoting counter terrorism on many and various occasions, especially in your UNSC and all of these public platforms. Your Pakistan has not criticized TRF, the resistant front. Now, amidst this, recently, when our defense personnel kept visiting Bangalore for a summit where they have held that there are certain significant achievements that India has done in the Operation Sindoor. What was that? One such thing is us striking the Pakistani airborne platform, understanding, which would likely be a heavy or very important aircraft of Pakistan. The important reason why we are discussing this is because it was killed or shot at a 300-kilometer target from ground. This was a surface to air mission. Now, why this is important means, especially in modern warfare, even when something of this sort happens, because of two reasons, we will not be able to detect whether we have killed or neutralized the enemy target. The reason is A, it might be classified document. B is because you will not have enough data to verify and showcase. The document won't be there. But in this case, we had a radar tracking wherein a blip will appear. Understanding, when a blip appears, it means it is a confirmed kill and those fell inside the territory of Pakistan. So, this is how we were able to tell yes, we have neutralized this target at 300 kilometers in air. The IAF chief also held that this is the largest ever recorded surface to air kill that we can talk about. Understanding, and most of the reasons why now we telling that yes, this is a very important significant event is because we are able to physically confirm this. Verification can be done. That is why this is a very important event to know. Now, we will ask the question, what makes a 300 kilometers kill very special? First and foremost, this is a long range interceptor missile which means your S400. The name S400 only means that it can operate at 400 kilometers. Okay, so its range is 400 kilometers. That's the name S400. And also because it is long range distance, there is a precision to this. That is what we witnessed in our present day example that we are seeing, where S400 was used to neutralize a 300-kilometer target. And also one of the main important reasons is, in the present times, if you see, there is no particular incident where the confirmation has been for 300 kilometers, the maximum has been for your 200 kilometers. What it is, see, look at this. When in your Ukraine claimed that it had done, let's say, killed or downed a Russian A-50 from 200 kilometers away. Russia had held that it had downed Su-27 of Ukraine by the S-400s from 150 kilometers away. But now India has held that it has been able to kill the target at 300 kilometers. Now this is the longest ever recorded range that we have. Next, when we see the weapon behind the kill, that is your S-400, this is a Russian made. We have signed a deal with them for 5 S-400s. As of now, we have 3 S-400s. 2 more are yet to be given. The range of your S-400, that is why the name S-400, that is your 400 kilometers. And another important thing about your S-400s is it will detect and engage stealth aircrafts and also cruise missiles. Presently, your S-400 is deployed, again covering the borders of both Pakistan and China. One of the important reasons we need the remaining two is also to cover beyond the borders. Understanding, in India, we need positioning of S-400s beyond the borders also. Alongside this, what others were used means it is Barak 8 mid or medium range surface to air missiles were used, and also our indigenous Akash missile was also used for air defense system. Recently, we also have got the maintenance of S-400s, which was agreed upon by your Defense Acquisition Committee. And also, if you see the strategic significance, this gives us air superiority, and especially, let's assume if a enemy aircraft is approaching a missile launch zone. At that point of time, we want to neutralize it, and we want them to keep their aircraft from, let's say, within the inland itself. Within, that is, it should not be used against us. So, how you will prevent from it being used against us, which means you will make sure it cannot be deployed at all. Right? So, you can kill it there itself, you can kill it mid-air itself. So, this gives us air superiority, and also one of the main things is, like I mentioned, it keeps the high valued asset deep inside their territory, which we will not allow it to even use it for the launch. Yes, this may bring in ethical questions as to the territorial integrity, the sovereignty, these are getting affected. But again, the modern warfare, this is more of a self-protection. Understanding? So, again, like we said, the S-400s as of now that we have are 3 in number, which are used to protect our Indo-Pak borders and Indo-China borders. And also it is integrated with the ground radars and also multiple layers of defense. Alright. One we have to speak about S-400. This was done at a period of time. This deal was signed with Russia after your USA had imposed CATSA. CATSA meaning countering American adversaries through sanctions. Your USA has this tendency where, for any country which will have, look at this, any country which will have purchasing from Russia, Iran, and North Korea. If any country purchases, let's say, oil, energy, defense, equipments, any of these from these countries, then those countries will be sanctioned by your USA. Understanding? That is called as CATSA. So India had signed this deal with Russia after your CATSA was imposed. Again, here we have to maintain the strategic autonomy of India as well as India's defense needs comes first for us. So now when we said ethical dimensions we will be seeing, like we mentioned, cross-border air engagement. That is, if you are crossing your territory and it is going to the enemy territory, let's assume, in this case, then they must comply with UN Charter self-defense provision. Understanding? It cannot be done to provoke, but rather only in self-defense, and that is what India did. And also, even though this target, this high-valued Pakistan aircraft, which was within its territory, but it posed imminent threat to India, under this it gave the ground to strike it. So here is where the ethical question will come under high value kill versus the escalation risk, because once you did this, then the retaliation is bound to happen. What are the challenges that we may face from this? First is, see, if you see our defense production, largely it is based on the imports, your Russian arms, weapons, understanding. So especially your surface air missiles, surface to air missiles, it is high time that we start indigenous production of long range surface to air missiles. And also the S-400s, like we mentioned, the operational maintenance upgrades, everything has to be within Indian conditions. And also this will make us assess the multi-domain threats, because as of now the warfare has become, the defense and technology has been integrated so much so that it has become an intellectual warfare where cyber plays a very huge importance. So we need to integrate it with cyber and space based assets. Also, while speaking about the assets, purchase, defense, productions, equipments, we have to balance USA, Russia, and China. Now, if you see, our defense procurement has largely been from Russia. This has led for USA to slap sanctions of almost, we have 50% present sanctions, and they have also warned about additional sanctions. So, what is the way forward? First and foremost, indigenous development, accelerate indigenous air development projects with surface to air missiles, and also military integration between your Army, Navy, IAF, and also expand your early warning system in the satellites, and maintain strategic autonomy in the defense procurement. What is a possible means question we can see from here? Long range air defense systems have redefined modern warfare. Analyze this in the concept of Operation Sindoor. So where we will be focusing largely means on air defense. We can use our S-400s, and we will also be speaking about strategic autonomy, deterrence capability, and we will be speaking about the technical significance and indigenous development, where we used Akash, Barakat, and also we will be discussing what are the challenges, what are the roadmap that India should follow, and what is the strategic balance. Understanding? With this, we've come to the end of the content. If you like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, share it along with your friends. Thank you.